Hello and welcome to episode 99 of TNA Top 10. It is March 4th, 2025. I'm T Weave. With me, as always, are Allison and Andrew. How's it going, fellas?
It is pretty great.
I got
Honestly.
99
Even
problems,
better.
but TNA ain't one, baby. Episode 99. Whoever thought we would make it this far? Nobody.
Dude,
I mean,
Nobody.
there's some fuzzy math in there somewhere, but hey, when
yeah.
I upload the audio, it's going to say 99 there. You know,
Well,
We
let
know.
me just say, I want to say thank you for allowing me to join your podcast, even though I am pretty much the worst producer of all times who does nothing. So thank you.
This is
Here's to
our
you.
podcast. We don't use the word "your" around here. That's another podcast about your
Oh,
show. Shout
and
out
look,
to
our
James
friends have
Alcaraz.
joined.
Alex
Hi,
Wheels
Alex.
already here.
Alex.
What's up, buddy? We love Alex.
I am prepping two
Yep.
different lists based on your suggestions. So
And
let me
we
go.
really liked your suggestion.
A lot. A lot.
So for the rest of our listeners, if you have an idea for a top 10 you want us to do, drop us a line, any one of us, or DM the show.
Or if you have a really good idea that involves the number 100,
Yes.
we would love to hear that too, because that's what the next episode will be. So
Yep.
Mhm.
we don't.
We don't
have-
know when, we don't know where, but we know what it will be.
We're
So,
both. We're all going on vacation next week. Not necessarily together. Two of them are together. I'm going with my son, but spring break, and we are out of here. So we're not sure when the next episode will be. Probably a couple of weeks.
Terry,
I'm kind of excited.
I want you to raise your hand and pat yourself on the back because at least we know what the subject matter of the next show when we return is.
It doesn't. I mean, I will say that in December we kind of planned out the whole month.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't often do that. We got
Nope.
on a roll. Doesn't happen very often.
No.
A little bit of a teaser here. Best of Bob's Burger Store next door names. I tried my best to explain what the hell that meant and to tell people that it doesn't matter if you've seen the show. You should be able to look at these, and whatever makes you laugh is what you vote for. We had a few fewer votes than normal. I think it was probably based on I don't watch Bob's Burgers, but that's okay. It's still going to be
It's all
funny.
right.
Thanks for anybody that got involved.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll just
And-
laugh at each other.
Exactly.
And by the way, this is so much better than watching the State of the Union address. Okay.
Oh,
So
it's that
I'm just going to
time.
point that out.
I
turned
don't
the
need to
TV
watch.
on.
I don't need to watch gentlemen congratulating each other on how big their dicks are.
I turned the TV on, Allison, and that's what she said. I turned the TV on
I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
to
Andrew may
watch-
change the channel.
to watch the sports. And I see State of the Union address, and I said I'd rather not. Because here's my thing about the State of the Union address. And I know we don't do politics here, but this isn't politics. Trump's going to get up there, he's going to give a speech, and all of a sudden, 70% or whatever are going to stand up and clap, and then everybody's going to sit down, and they're going to clap. It's a dog and pony show, and I'm just not interested. I don't have a ton of time on my hand. You know what I'd rather watch? Yankees baseball. But them sons of bitches on Hulu ain't putting the spring games on all, so I'm having to watch them on the Yes Network on the Instagram gimmick. But
Shout
yeah,
out to my friends at the Yes Network. Woohoo.
yes, shout out. So the State of the Union address is tonight. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but did we tariff electricity? And here's why I'm asking this question. I paid the power bill yesterday, and it should not be higher than Snoop Dogg. Okay? That's all I'm saying. The power bill is reaching Snoop Dogg heights of high. And I don't know that we can accept that. Snoop Dogg levels of high is a better way to say it.
In Connecticut, we have a hearing coming up very soon. This is something my girlfriends and I are very interested in, Andrew. This exact situation about the electric bills, because right now our delivery rates are higher than our usage rates, which is insane because they're including a public service fee now, which look, I have no issue paying, to help the less fortunate, but it's like $45 a bill. And I'm like, that's not a little chunk of change. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I don't know what's happened, but it annoys the hell out of me. And by the way, we're getting ready for sweltering as the temperature here in North Carolina. So that means the air conditioning is going to be running all the time.
The air conditioning is going to be on in our Airbnb. You better
Is it?
believe it.
Oh,
Hell
God.
yes, it is.
I would say mine. I think I haven't looked at it real close because I just got auto pay and I got some notification, but I think it's about 50% higher than previous
Yeah.
month.
Yeah. So last month it was $475. This I don't mind telling. I don't care. This month
Well, you've
it was
also got, what, 5 people in your house?
$6. It's
Six.
$368 this month. So we're going the right direction.
Yeah.
But I mean, it got cold and that auxiliary heat wouldn't shut off. And I'm like, oh, for the love of God, stop,
Yeah.
please. And then I spent money today, of course, on the dogs. They got their beds. It's time for new beds. They get to the point where you can't wash them anymore because they're going to fall apart.
I
So
get
I
it.
have to throw them in the trash can and they get new beds. So today
But
was
good
new
for
bed.
you on doing that, because some people wouldn't. They'd just leave the trashy beds.
No, no, she deserves better than that, as to the other 3. The queen, she's outside right now.
I was gonna say,
Probably
the queen
pissed off
definitely-
because it's windy. As Terry can tell you, apparently we're going to have
Yeah.
thunderstorms tomorrow. I don't know. Somebody
Well,
said
we're
something.
supposedly going to have it tonight. So if you see me just cut out and then the slides go away, it's because we are having a storm right in the middle of the show. The
Okay.
wind, I mean, I walked out of work earlier and the wind just about threw me back in the building. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
sorry,
they're saying. Go ahead.
I'm laughing so hard because when he sent us that text, I swear to God, I read it as I got walked out of the building, and I'm like,
Not
oh,
yet,
I'm
but you know,
fired.
I do bite my tongue quite a few times.
When you start bleeding from the mouth, you know it's a problem because you hit the inside of your cheek so hard.
I'm trying to be good this week because last week I said a few too many things. So.
Yep.
Well, it's called balance,
tell you.
Terry. Just like the
But it
force,
also-
we've got to have balance.
It seems to be the general consensus right now, though. There's more speaking up happening now than I think we have ever seen in the business place, because a lot of us know the right way to do things and we know what needs to be done, and the amount, and Andrew's your favorite thing, the amount of bureaucracy and red tape and politics that we have to deal with in the workplace is ridiculous.
It's all garbage. Politics, bureaucracy. It's all.
Well, I'll
garbage.
go on record and say I'm in a great place with my job, so it's not. There's no complaints about that, but you know, you got to
As
speak
am
up
I.
when you see things. Sometimes.
I mean, same. But
I dealt with FedEx a lot last week, so you know that was
that was your
Terry,
fault.
Terry pissed
a
off
little bit.
somebody.
I
'cause they sent-
started the ball rolling, but don't try to deliver something to my house and not leave a sticker on my door letting me know you tried. We will figure this out together.
Oh no,
Anyway.
they didn't, did they, Terry?
Twice.
Oh, God.
And I got an email saying they tried several times to deliver this to your house. I'm like, how do I know that?
Yeah, am I supposed to be psychic?
Yeah, no.
Not all of us
Yeah.
have fancy Ring cameras.
Mail services are definitely interesting. I ordered my secret weapon for Tampa
Oh Lord.
on February the 14th, and it has yet to arrive because it's coming from China. But I got it tariff and duty free, thank God.
Okay.
But I'm gonna make fun of him any chance I get because tariffs are absolutely contrary to free market enterprise. But what do I know? I'm just some idiot that sells cars. Anywho, so this bag is called the travel bag,
Oof.
and it actually has a vacuum system that compresses
Oh my God.
everything into the bag
Nice.
so that I could fit 14 days worth of clothes into this bag, because you both know my rule
take
about
it.
travel. We
Yes.
do not check our bags at travel. So I am waiting anxious. Apparently, it's finally made it to New York.
Okay.
Which
I
means
check a
that's
bag
good.
if I'm somewhere for 30 minutes.
Terry's going to check a bag and probably a second one, and he's
I
bringing.
mean, I got to put all my shoes in there.
I was
and
just gonna say,
lately, my hats and you know.
Terry
and he's
needs all
bringing
of
a
his shoes.
personal item onto the flight, by the way. So don't mess with Terry when it comes to traveling, because he will stand in line. Now, here's the thing, though, Terry. Me and Allison are a little bit on a clock because my plane lands, and in an hour, we're supposed to be at the Dolly Museum. And I don't know if we're going to make it or not, but we paid for it, so whatever. But the way she and I
But I
drive,
get it first. I get in first, so I'll be able to
Yeah.
pick up the car and then pick him up when he
The
gets
what museum? What?
The
in. Salvador Dali.
Oh, okay. When I hear Dolly,
You think-
I think
not
you're
that.
Dolly
going to
Parton.
Gatlinburg on the way to Florida.
No, not Dolly, not that.
Her
Dolly.
husband died, by the way.
Yes, I saw.
Did
I
he?
saw. No, yeah, they were married a long time.
60 years.
Yeah.
No. Which is big for celebrities. I mean, seriously, I don't mean that
Yes,
ugly.
it
Well,
is.
he basically said, "You're the celebrity. I'm going to be over here in the corner, and when you need me, I'll be here." And that is the
Yeah, he was
perfect
very
way to go about it.
unassuming, and yeah.
It worked.
But speaking of celebrity deaths, since we're just doing a little shit, Gene
Yeah.
Hackman and his wife and the dog.
Dude.
Oh my god! Like,
Okay. So I know that I said it wasn't they reported it wasn't carbon monoxide, but I think I read something that said they may be reversing that. Did you see anything else about it?
Oh, good.
no, I've seen a bunch of people on Twitter say it's because they were on the Epstein list. I'm not making that up. I'm saying
No.
that's what people are saying.
Yeah,
They committed
I mean-
suicide. Yeah, because they
I'm
were on the
gonna-
Epstein.
Excuse me for saying this, but this might be too much information. But apparently, I read that their bodies were like in a state of decomposition.
Like mummified. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
and I'm like, well, how long were they dead for?
Well, he was estranged from his daughters or something like that. It seems like I heard.
Yeah.
Still, that's
But just
Don't
weird.
let me be the guy that reports that, though. My memory's pretty shaky.
So outside of his morbid death, what is your guys' favorite Gene Hackman movie?
oh, I
There's
would
a
say
lot
it's
of
probably
misses
one.
from.
I have a tie. Mine's a tie. It's Blazing Saddles and Willy Wonka.
No, not
What?
Gene Wilder, Gene Hackman.
Oh God, how bad
Okay,
was
so
that?
let me list some for you if I can. Okay.
Top 10 answers are on the board. Terry's got the Google
Yeah,
machine.
let's go.
Okay, well, I've got
Wow, that was
4
really
of them here.
bad.
The French Connection,
Mhm.
The Royal Tenenbaums, Unforgiven, Poseidon Adventure. He was in Hoosiers.
He was Lex Luthor in Superman.
That's right. He was in
Yeah,
Superman.
he was.
That's why I was looking it up because it's like I don't know everything.
What was the
that he
Will
was
Smith movie? Enemy,
He was
Enemy of the
Crimson
State?
Tide,
Enemy of the State. Yeah, he was
Wyatt Earp.
he was the CIA guy in Enemy of the State. He was in the movie with Sharon Stone in the Western, where he was the guy that owned the town and was such a dick.
Unforgiven, The Firm.
The Firm he was great in. Yeah.
See,
As the head
I
of the
loved
firm.
the Poseidon Adventure. That was a great movie. But I can't remember what he did in that, so I can't answer that.
I mean, I probably lean toward Hoosiers just because I love
Yeah.
Hoosiers, but a guy that you don't list in the first few, but he's got so many great roles in movies here.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if you think he's Gene Wilder. I mean, God.
Yeah. But it was a tie, so that works. Blazing Saddles and for those of you
Yeah,
playing
I
along
mean-
at home, Gene Wilder and Gene Hackman are not the same
Not-
people. Not the same.
Is Gene
people.
Wilder
I did
still
enjoy-
alive?
I did
think
enjoy
so.
The Firm.
He's
The
still
Firm
got that
had
shaky
clues.
hand. Like, oh, it looks fine. Oh,
Ooh,
but
The
this is my
Firm.
shooting hand. But of course, now you got me talking about Gene Wilder stuff,
I know.
and we're really supposed to be
People,
talking
he
about
is not
Gene
dead, people. We don't think so.
Well, he may be dead. I don't know.
He may be. We don't know.
The Firm.
We're horrible at knowing facts,
I liked The Firm, but that Western movie, Unforgiven, was phenomenal. But the
Unforgiven.
Western, it was Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe, Gene Hackman. What the hell was the name of that movie? And they're doing this duel at noon and Leonardo DiCaprio was in it. He was
What the hell movie are you talking
he was
about?
Hackman's kid. It was like a big deal, and it ends
Oh,
up being where
please.
they're
The Quick and the Dead.
The Quick and the Dead. Yep, that's exactly. It was
Google
the
is your
remake of
friend.
the remake of The Quick and the Dead. So,
Okay.
so that cast was loaded because, like I said, it was a young Leonardo DiCaprio, Sharon Stone with blonde hair, long blonde hair, by the way, Russell Crowe before Gladiator, and Gene Hackman. But yeah, probably for me, because I am a DC guy, Superman, Lex Luthor, probably what I think of. Young Frankenstein.
Oh, Dad, good
George
one.
is back, and he is
He
supplying
wins.
some answers. Great job, thank
Gene
you.
Hackman was in Young Frankenstein or Gene Wilder?
No,
That's
that
Gene
was Gene
Wilder.
Wilder.
Gene Wilder was
We
the
need
young
to move
French guy.
along before
Yeah,
I
we.
think he's definitely related to me.
The
Oh,
family has
God.
got it. Well, he might have started late. Who knows?
Man, nobody ever use us for fact checking anything.
No.
No, but I would go with Lex Luthor only because that was Superman. And that's
I mean,
kind of
to be fair, that's who I named my kid after. That's where his
Oh.
nickname comes from. Lex's nickname comes from Lex Luthor because he's my little evil genius.
Wrestling fan.
That's what I always
You
said.
name- Okay.
Yep.
Do you
Oh, yeah.
know what I named my youngest child after? Cy Young, who played the
Oh,
baseball. So why don't we get
The
into that?
baseball.
good segue, Terry.
Yeah,
What-
it doesn't work as well when we say "good segue" every single time that we do
Are
something.
the Braves doing anything? Or are we only here to talk about God's
Well, let's
team
first off,
tonight?
we got to say 23 days until opening day, and we are ignoring these series that they do
Overseas one?
because let me just
We are-
say it. I'm going to throw it out there. The first game is supposed to be in Cincinnati, Ohio, and they have screwed this up.
We are
That's
not
my
ignoring that game. That is Otani and the boys going back to conquer Godzilla in Japan. We
I'll pay
are
attention
not
to that when
ignoring
everybody else starts playing.
the international game, Terry. The
So the
Japanese
Dodgers
are
have
going,
home field advantage then.
yeah, they're going to kill Godzilla. That's what they're going to do. And quite frankly, the team they have built could kill Godzilla. It's almost unfair, but they can't win a spring training game. So
I was going to say.
Before we get into it too much with the Braves and Yankees, let's talk about some standings and how much they do not matter in spring training. The Cactus League standings. Currently, the Cubs are at 9-2, and they lead the Cactus League, followed by the Rockies, who are 9-3, and the A's, who are 7-3. If that doesn't tell you that these standings don't mean anything, I don't know what will.
Well, that makes me kind of happy because the Rockies minor league team is here in Hartford. So that means all those kids that are getting playing time now and doing well, I'm going to get to see them here.
That's good.
The Rockies might win 70 games.
It's going to be a race between the Rockies and the White Sox.
No. Look, let's not.
Let's face it. The A's aren't going to be good either, and they're nomads. Like, they got no home.
That's right.
Where
Have
are
the
they?
White Sox won a
Sacramento this
game?
year or something like that?
We have what now?
Sorry.
You both were saying something. What happened?
Go ahead.
I asked if the White Sox have won a game yet.
Oh,
Probably-
I don't know. I didn't go that
probably
far
not.
down in the standings.
Look, I mean, if they win 50 games, they'll be lucky. I mean, the White Sox are a trash organization. Sorry to all of the White Sox fans out there, but it's just the truth. And I don't know if they know that they're supposed to play baseball in Chicago. Because the Cubs haven't been very good either. They're better than the White Sox, though.
But I will say this. The Cactus League standings don't matter, but the Grapefruit League standings tell you everything you need to know about the regular season because the Braves are in the lead at 6-3, followed by the Blue Jays at 6-3. There's a tie, and the Yankees are at 6-4 right behind them.
Yeah. But the Yankees don't worry about that either, Terry. So.
And the Braves had their catcher, Sean Murphy, cracked a rib, and he's out for a while.
Well,
not a position you want to play with a crack. Nobody wants to play with a cracked rib, but catching is impossible, I would imagine, with even a bruised rib.
Somebody gonna
the Yankees
roll
won
over
12,
you, and you got more cracked ribs.
The Yankees won 12-3 today, sir. Just so you're aware.
All right.
And it was with the less than B team lineup. But I mean, it's spring training, so we don't really care that much.
But they're trying out a new ball strike challenge system.
Now the challenge
systems,
I've seen several of them, and it's been dead on.
It has been. So now I have a question because I do not know about the rules behind this. How many times can you do that?
Twice.
Is that per team or per at bat?
Per team.
The whole game?
I'm not sure that you earn future challenges. I think it's 2.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is to me the first step in not having umpires anymore. Which
Well, you need to have base umpires, but you're not going to have a home plate umpire.
correct. You don't need a ball strike umpire.
No, I said umpires. Right. I guess they're. Yeah, well, they're umpires.
Yeah,
they're
all
umpires.
Yeah,
they're umpires.
They don't do like football and name everybody a different.
Yeah. That's why I was like, wait a minute. I was second guessing myself. About like Purdue was doing in this basketball game. They were down and now they're up by 18. It's unfair. But anyway, what were you talking? Oh, but I think that's the rule, and I will have to verify that. So they're doing this experiment, but it seems to be because I saw Soto challenge the other day, and he was correct. Juan Soto challenged, and he was correct the other day that it was a ball, not a strike. And I mean, it didn't miss by a lot, but he was correct. So I guess if you get a hitter like that, who's gonna make you pitch, it's gonna matter. You know, it's going to matter.
Yeah, my oldest son sent me a picture of a Mets hat, and I replied, "Boo Mets!" But he said, but he referenced Soto being on there as the reason he bought the hat. So there you go.
Well, Juan Soto will be a 287 batter with 40 home runs and about 105 or 10 RBIs, and he will be on a team that'll make the playoffs probably and lose because that's what they do.
They're the Mets.
Juan Soto production has been replaced effectively by our new man in New York. And between Paul Goldschmidt at first base and I just lost his name. His dad played for center field. Bellinger in center. I mean, we're not going to miss Juan Soto.
So I saw some video saying that Bellinger's got a weird shaped bat.
I don't know. What I do know is Giancarlo used to date Bellinger's wife, and the memes make me laugh a lot. So that's a thing. Apparently, they used to date. I could care less, but I guess it's a thing. But no,
Bellinger a lot of wrestling, so you know.
Yeah, Bellinger just teed off the other day, and he and Goldschmidt played really well together. Volpe's having a great spring training, really good defense, stole some bases yesterday, got some hits. Jason Dominguez is getting work, which is good because he's come up. He'll be the permanent left fielder. DJ LeMahieu, of course, he's hurt. Calf. First game, hurts his calf. So it looks like Oswaldo Cabrera or Oswaldo Peraza will be playing third base, either or. And, of course, the judge will be in right, and they're trying different designated hitters right now. And there's some young guy, I forget his name, he's 19 years old, who's just been blasting the leather off the ball. So lots of good stuff for the Yankees, Terry, despite the injuries, which happened. You know, we've got Luis Hill, the Rookie of the Year last year, who's got a bad lat. As you know, Terry, from watching baseball, when the pitcher shuts down the bullpen, it's not a good day. Not a good day.
Right.
So he called it early, and he's got a strained or torn lat muscle in his back. And I guess if you're going to throw the ball 90 times in a game, you probably need that muscle to not be torn or strained or whatever it is. So he's out 6 to 8 weeks. The good news is there are only Manly days until the first pitch. So
23.
I saw that on my Yankees calendar today on Instagram. The Manningly reference, 23 days. So Cole pitched the other day.
Yesterday was Tino Martinez days.
Tino Martinez Day. Yes, it was.
I saw Fred McGriff a few days ago. I'm going to throw some Brave stuff in there.
No, stop it. Cole pitched 3.1 innings, two outs, no runs allowed, or not 2 outs, two hits, no runs allowed. Freed, the import from Atlanta, disappointed me yesterday. 7.5 ERA.
He sucked.
Shut up.
Man, I can't believe you guys got him. Man,
I'm like, what are you doing? You're a Yankee now. You need to act like a Yankee. And then I saw an interview with Garrett Cole I sent to Allison. He says he can't get the Houston beard back, but it just depends on how he's feeling, if he's going to grow the beard or not. So keep an eye on that. But
fingers crossed.
Garrett Cole, versus Paul Skeen's opening day. Pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so
Excited.
Braves got a couple of injuries. I probably mentioned it last week, but obviously the best fielding player is out for 6 weeks, I think, after opening day, but he'll be back. Acuna, and then Spencer Strider is out, but he seems to be coming back. I don't know what their plans are for spring training. It seemed like some things I read said he may participate to some degree, but I'm not sure. But we need to bring them all back and strengthen up.
Yeah, so you've got a great pitching staff, I think, there in Atlanta. They got to find their chemistry. I said the same thing to Allison about New York. They're going to have to find their chemistry, but Devin Williams is going to have his mojo with his beard. So, Will Warren pitched very well the other day. Of course, the fun guy, what's his name? Luke Weaver. Weaver is going to be a good closer. Well, he is fun. He's the fun guy.
He is.
Weaver's going to be a good closer, but I mean, I'm looking for Williams. Devin Williams' ERA was less than 1 last year as a closer. So that's what the Yankees need to finish these games. And Stroman is still up in the air, although I believe they're still trying to trade him because there was rumor that Boston was going to pick him up. But I don't think they have yet. And now we've got Hill with an injury, and so who knows? But with Fried and Cole on the mound, that should be 40 wins.
I mean, so I know they're trying to trade Stroman because he wants to be a starter, and we've got our starters, right?
So the problem is that the Yankees are a 5-man rotation.
Yeah.
And Stroman is number 6. And he doesn't want to be a reliever. He doesn't want to be a middle reliever. He doesn't want to be a closer. And quite frankly, if you have Weaver and Williams, he's not going to close anyway. And Warren. Right. You got Warren will be the middle closer, I guess, or the middle reliever. But
sounds like AAA for him.
Yeah, I mean, Stroman is not going to – he's not going to be a starting pitcher. So as much as he wants to be a starting pitcher, and he was – but the man didn't throw a pitch in the World Series. He didn't contribute to the playoff wins. So I don't know what exactly their plan is. This is what I do know. It's a stacked deck in New York right now. Even with the injuries, they can get through it. But when you've got multiple options for third base, you're set with Soto. You got Jazz at second, Goldschmidt at first, Austin Wells the catcher, and then having Ben Rice play backup catcher. They're set. And they didn't spend $765 million to keep Juan Soto. Hindsight being 2020, we're all super geniuses, but
better yet, across town, the Mets did do that.
The Mets did do that.
And you can laugh at them when they don't win a World Series because of that.
Well, my thing is he's a 289 batter. I mean, I get it. That's awesome, but you can replace 40 home runs and 100 RBIs. Yeah. And so I saw some projection that said Ohtani and Judge weren't going to break 50 home runs this year. I'm like, are you all fucking crazy?
Are y'all on crack? What?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, Judge is going to do it again, but you're going to tell me that both Judge and Shohei ain't going to hit 50? Get out of here. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
No, I agree. How's your colleges doing?
Well,
Terry's basketball team's pretty good.
They are, and they went to Lexington. There's a little foul play, I think, here because they went to Lexington, had not won since 1988, blew the doors off of them in Lexington, but the second half lost the feed and it never came back. So,
oh, no.
Go figure.
And for those of you playing along at home that are maybe geographically challenged, we're talking about Lexington, Kentucky.
Yep.
Big
Rupp
Blue,
Arena, Lexington, Kentucky.
Big Blue defends the house more often than not, and they got it handed to them by Auburn.
They've got 8 SEC losses this year.
Yeah, that's huge.
I think Auburn is playing at Texas A&M tonight. So,
but my point is, Rupp is a hard place for anybody to win, though, Terry. When you're talking college basketball,
37 years since Auburn had won in
that's
Rupp
insane.
Arena.
Wow.
Yeah, and they beat them by 16, I think it was. They had like a 20-point lead at one point.
I'd say at one point it was over 20 that they were winning by because I saw the score.
That's
because
fantastic.
it's getting to that time where it's March Madness. This is where I actually pay attention to
Right.
basketball.
And that's where and they did that with Janai Broom, who is neck and neck with Cooper Flagg from Duke for the Player of the Year. He had 1 point in the first half, and Auburn still did that. So Auburn is deep. Now, a lot of people are
Alright.
saying it's because they're all old. You know, hey, you go get the
Hey.
best players. Who cares how old they are?
Yep.
With age comes expertise, all right? Damn it.
Apparently so, because I
Says
think
the oldest of the three of us.
there's a theory that Chad Baker Mazora, who is 25,
Oh, Jesus.
may be able to come back for another season.
I mean, all right.
Well, that's
Okay.
the thing is that the college thing isn't college anymore, and that's where
No.
people are getting it wrapped up. But Auburn's still the number 1 seed projected. Terry, I take it.
Yeah,
Overall.
and they've got 2 games left. They've got at Texas A&M tonight, and then they host Alabama this weekend.
Yeah, there you go.
Are we going to do a tournament again?
Yeah, we
Let's do it.
can. Yeah.
We
We're going
should.
to do whatever we can. Yeah.
I won
put it
last
out
year. I
there.
want to do it again.
Oh, okay. I see how it works.
So thematically, well, you picked UConn last year, and your boy ain't winning jack
Well,
shit.
they ain't
this
winning.
year.
I'm fully aware of that now.
He is just as much of an asshole, but he's not winning nothing this
Yeah,
year.
but he's
No,
not
he
winning,
isn't.
and he has pissed everybody off. Wouldn't you be happier in Los Angeles? That's probably what the donors are at.
He was yelling. I don't remember whose fans it was, but he was yelling at him. I got 2 rings. I got 2 rings.
Creighton.
It was great.
It was Creighton because they're from Nebraska. That's why I know that. It was the Creighton fans, the Blue Jays. But no, so speaking of Rupp Arena, Kentucky, Rick Pitino, former Kentucky coach, national champion winner, former Louisville coach, has taken St. John's from the cellar to being the number 4, 5, or 6
They're up
team in
there,
the country. They
somewhere
are way
between 4 and 6. I'm not sure. I know
Yeah.
Florida dropped after a loss, so St. John's kind of rose up there. So.
Yeah.
Wait,
So he
St. John's
has
from
led
where?
St. John's, New York.
That's what I'm thinking you were saying, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he is the only Division I coach to take 4 different teams from a losing record to the league championship, because they just won the Big East. I think it is, Terry. Is that right?
That would make sense.
The regular season. They won the regular season Big East.
I guess
believe.
they did. They're first in the Big East. I don't know if they've clinched
Yeah.
it. They probably
So
have. They are.
So they
number
locked
6.
that up. They've won over 20 games. He did it with Kentucky.
Wow.
He did it with Louisville. He was somewhere else too, and then he did it with St. John's. So it was one before Kentucky, I think, that got him the job. But anyway, Rick Pitino may be a dickhead, but he can coach basketball. I mean, that's all I'm saying. And if you all remember with the Louisville team, when he was the coach at Louisville, they lost their shooting guard who broke his leg during the tournament, and they went on to run the table and win the championship.
Okay, let me run this down. He coached Hawaii as an interim coach, Syracuse, Boston University, the Knicks, Providence,
University,
and then the Knicks again. Oh,
Yep,
he was an
I remember
assistant
that.
for the Knicks the first time. Then Kentucky, then the Celtics, then Louisville, and I'm not going to mention the other one here. I can't even pronounce it. Must have been in Greece or something, and St. John's.
Yeah.
He's been
So he's a very, very good basketball coach. He knows how to win. He knows how to get the most out of them. Watching
You got a comment about my Greece?
I was going to say, put it in the chat and I can say it.
Watching his videos of him motivating, he's old school. So St. John's may be your sleeper team in the 64.
Yeah.
Just so everybody's aware.
That's a great thing.
It's in Athens, sure enough.
But
and not Athens, Georgia.
Not Athens, Georgia. That's between the hedges. So
Panathinaikos. I don't know what that is, but it's Panathinaikos. That's how you say it.
See? Yeah. That's why we have a rocket sign. Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm going to take you to Tarpon Springs so you can see all the Greek people.
I don't know if being a rocket scientist is what made her be able to say that, though.
I actually would have got that one because of the way it's spelled. That one, that one would have been easy for me. Now, don't ask me some of these other
numbers.
She sent me, what's the name of it for bread?
So me.
Yeah, but you can't.
PSOMI.
Thank you. Now say it one more time.
So me.
Yeah. What? Like what? I said Pissamy. We're not going to a restaurant named Pissamy.
No.
She said, "Me is silent. It's Greek." I'm like,
It's Greek and
whatever.
it means bread. We are definitely going
bread,
there.
so it's
Oh,
her
if it
place.
means bread, then
Yes.
then I might fly down to join you.
See?
We told you we're going to the fondue place, right?
Yeah.
That's right, yep.
Yeah. So that has nothing to do with basketball or wrestling, but we're
No.
going to the fondue place. I don't know. I may do a heel turn. You know who else could do a heel turn?
Oh. We know
Are we talking
definitely know who
WWE?
can do heel turn.
Or are we going
I'm
to
ready.
wait, Tim?
We can go right now.
Oh, let's go right into
Boom!
it.
Talk about a heel turn. Look at this shot. This is what I love about WWE production. Look at the shot.
So let's talk about the fact that we start with the men's because the two women's matches were so freaking bad
We
that
just skipped over them.
we just skipped over them. And I would just like to take 1 minute, and you can leave the graphic up for my producer's piss segment. Once again, freaking Poison Pixie or whatever she's called was useless. Candice LeRae useless in that match. I will.
She did not take the pin. She did
not take the pin, but this is the hill I will die on because there is no way that Nia Jax is going to win that match with her as her partner. Okay, I'm done.
So, real quick, I know you can leave Sammy up because this is a great picture. The highlight for me of the women's chamber match was Jade Cargill back in black.
Yeah.
And not because she's black. She was wearing black.
She looked hot.
Looking like $1 million.
Mm.
Coming into the ring, looking like she's going to beat the crap out of Liv Morgan. And, of course, it's Naomi. And all of us that have been watching wrestling knew she wasn't going to go after Liv. She's going after Naomi. Beat her down. Took her out of the match. Thank God we didn't have to watch her in an elimination chamber because she is awful. Like, I have heat with Naomi the way Allison does with Candice LeRae. So I don't know what it is.
So should I pick a woman from WWE to have heat with? Let me
can,
look at the
yeah.
roster. I'll pick
Yes.
one.
Because, like, look at Candice LeRae's the dead weight, no pun intended, with Nia. And
Naomi.
I just thought Naomi is the dead weight with both Jade and Bianca. So, like, get her out of here. But anyway, she gets beat down. The one thing that I wanted to point out about this moment, Jade Cargill in AEW looked like a good professional wrestler. She wrestled a little too fast. She was a little green, a little sloppy. As a tag partner with Bianca, she always looked like she was playing second fiddle, backseat, second chair. Sunday night or Saturday night, her attack was vicious and violent, and she owned the room and the moment. She got 5 other women staring around, looking at her. They don't know whether to shit or whine their watch. And for once, she's always been the star. But you have to step into that role. And I think Saturday, even though it was Naomi, it wasn't Bianca, or it wasn't Rhea, or it wasn't somebody a little higher level, but you have to start somewhere. She finally stepped into the role of being that bitch, like she calls herself, but owning what they wanted her to actually accomplish.
Yeah.
And I think she did it.
So my opinion here, I 100% agree with you. I think it really helps that she's finally got a real story.
Yeah.
Before it was always, oh, I just dominate, I dominate, I dominate, I dominate. Now it's, bitch, I'm going to kill you because you attacked me. And I love it. And I'm here for it. Bring it on. Let's do this. I am so ready. She could take this so far because she could be a WrestleMania interrupter. She could be like, there is a lot of potential here for her.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
and
they bring her up with, they put her with Bianca because Bianca obviously had put herself at that elite level. They pair her with Bianca for so long and then have a turn, and then you're still benefiting from that relationship with that person, but you're going against them. So that's huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it was a great decision. Again, I am so happy she owned it. She's clearly been working out. Like the time away, she was clearly. I mean, I know this was just an ass kicking, but the way that there's a way the best move in a ring, and that was her. Laser focused, no hesitation. Fantastic. The beatdown was fantastic. Now we'll see how the follow-up goes, I guess on SmackDown. Right? Maybe no Raw. I don't know because we saw Bianca on Raw yesterday.
No, it'll have to. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how they follow up with it. The second women's match, Tiffy and Trishy beat. I said it for Allison's benefit, beating Nia and Candice LeRae. I think the biggest surprise was that they actually let Tiffany get the pin, and it was Nia that ate the pin.
Yeah.
Because you would think in Toronto they're going to let Trish have the moment.
Well, you knew she wasn't losing.
Yeah.
But
no, there was no doubt they were winning. You're
Trish
right.
didn't need the pin. Tiffany needed the pin. So,
and they have that picture I didn't send to you guys. Trish is about 1.5 or 2 feet behind Tiffany, pointing at her. They're doing everything they can to make Tiffany Stratton, a bigger star. It's not going to be Tiffany that makes herself the bigger star. It's going to be Charlotte that makes Tiffany. Charlotte's heel work is going to make Tiffany the babyface.
Yep.
You want to continue to force feed Tiffany to the audience, it's fine. She's done great. She had a great match with Bayley, probably because of Bayley. She's had some good interactions with Nia, probably because of Nia, because she's still green too.
Yeah.
But you cannot deny her athletic ability. But she's a Barbie doll.
Yeah.
She is a Barbie doll. So you've got to find
around a lot.
Yeah, you got to find a way for people to get sympathy on her. And I've said this before. I don't know if it was on this podcast or Medusa's podcast. I know it's on Medusa's podcast. Just make her Cersei Lannister. Make Charlotte Cersei Lannister and just let her be the most evil person, tormenting Tiffy for 48 days or whatever it is to WrestleMania. And people naturally hate Charlotte anyway.
Yeah.
Just amp up the volume on who she is and go with it.
I would agree.
That's what I do. But I don't think the match was very good. If we're reviewing the match in order, it was that one, and then the women's elimination chamber would be the bottom two for me. So
same.
Yep.
All right,
but
Sammy.
Again, we had Sammy and Kevin for the billionth time.
They never disappoint, though. I'm
Nope.
sorry.
Nope.
I could watch them wrestle forever.
I made the same comparison to somebody earlier when they were asking about, well, we're going to get, it was a different group chat, we're going to get Rhea versus Becky again, which could be fascinating for Mania. But people that complain, oh, we got the same match again. Did anyone ever complain about Sammy and Kevin or Ricky and Ric Flair, Steamboat and Flair? Nobody cares about it. If it's good, it's good. And this was very good.
Well, from a match perspective, I agree, because we said that last week about, these guys are going to have a good match. We've seen it before. From a storyline perspective,
Yeah.
It was like, who can we put out there to have a good match? That's what they did. There's nothing to go along with it, though. So that's where it kind of takes away from it for me.
I liked watching them beat the living daylights out of each other. It was fantastic.
Sometimes you just need that, right?
Look, it was a match for what it was.
Yeah.
To go along with there was no story. It was just brutal beating, and it was fantastic. God, I sound like such a horrible person when I say that, but
Well, this match existed for one reason and one reason only, and that was the return of Randall Keith Orton. So
this guy? Is that who you're talking about?
Oh, that guy.
295 pounds and just bothering the shit out of Allison.
Shout out to my friend Ellen, who this is like her guy, but oh my goodness. He came out and I was like, thank you for being an older gentleman and looking the way you do. It is very much appreciated.
Randy Orton, I spoke with Deuce about this, and she can't speak highly enough of him. Business, professional, always in great shape. But that RKO still had that snap. He might be older, but he still has that quick, sudden movement. Oh, and by the way, he's 50 pounds bigger than he's ever been.
Really?
This is a big man. Yeah, he says
That's
he weighs.
why I like him so much.
He
Oh,
says
I
he
take it.
weighs 295 pounds.
He was a pretty
He-
thin guy when he first started. He has really bulked up over the years.
Yes, definitely.
Human growth hormone will do that.
Yeah,
Not a
it will.
criticism, but that is he's
Hey,
not.
his
It's
hat
not
size
just his
went up a
diet.
whole inch.
Yeah. But this
Ah.
is obviously the Mania match, and we know that
Yeah.
Randy Orton doesn't disappoint at WrestleMania, and you can't tell me Kevin Owens ever has either. So this will be a great match. With
Well, I
45 days. Go ahead, Allison.
have a question. Is it going to be a 2-man match or a 3-man match?
No way they put Sammy in it. It's going to be just Orton and KO, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's one of those things where we say we've seen it a million times, but you know what? I will watch it again.
Yeah, and Randy
Won't be-
Orton's reached that level where he's just an older guy that helps younger guys, even though Owens doesn't necessarily need the help. But Orton's probably not going to compete for world championships anymore. He's not going to be factored into the main event unless they want to run it back. You know, we're going to talk about in a few minutes. One of his arch rivals, John Cena. If they want to run that back, but you're not going to see. I don't think like Orton versus Gunther was a safe match because you're going to get a very good wrestling match no matter the circumstances out of Randy Orton. You know. But he also has that level to be able to do a street fight or something like that to take it, you know, kick it up a notch, no pun intended. He wanted to punt Kevin Owens the other night. And I mean, he's even got the haircut that matches that serial killer Randy Orton look from like 2009 and 10. So it works.
Was it
for
Orton
me.
and Edge during COVID that had that match and they went
Yes.
back and like walking on top of the bus or whatever?
Yeah.
The greatest match ever, or whatever they called it. It was not that. It was
No.
not that.
It was not that. All right, next match was the men's gauntlet, right?
Men's.
The Elimination Chamber. Yes, ma'am.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Priest,
I'm gonna hold up the
Rollins.
picture until
Yeah,
we talk
Priest,
about
Rollins, McIntyre, Cena, Logan Paul, and
Yeah.
CM Punk.
Dude,
And
Logan Paul, I mean, did you need to be so much of a troll?
for what? What was he trolling?
He came out with the American
Canada.
flag when he was trolling Canada, all of Canada.
Oh, yeah. So I have an opinion on this too. So I guess the Elimination Chamber crowd booed the playing of the national anthem. I'm not okay with that. I wouldn't boo "O Canada" because of Justin Trudeau. I understand I'm not an idiot. I understand they're booing because of Trump and tariffs and stupid shit he says and all this other stuff. But sports is the escape from the nonsense. Don't boo the other country's national anthem. Because if we were in Canada watching a hockey game, number one, we'd be in the Twilight Zone because fuck hockey. But number two,
You
But
noticed
number
I didn't
two-
say we were going to see hockey while we're in Tampa. You noticed
Yeah,
that.
Oh
right.
boy.
but number two, I would not boo "O Canada."
Okay.
So where McAfee apologized on his ESPN show, I think WWE would not make him apologize, but I think ESPN's more of a make you apologize kind of company.
Yeah.
Disney, you know.
Yeah.
Well, and it kind of fits his character anyway, though, to be outlandish. So I mean, it didn't really hurt anything.
True.
But
True.
I don't like the booing of national anthem. I didn't like football players kneeling during the national anthem. Men and women have died for this country so that you can stand your ass up for the 75 seconds and show the respect to it. That's all I say.
Unless it's a Super Bowl, then it might be 90 seconds because they really
Yeah.
hold on to those.
They really hold it out. But I mean, however long the Star Spangled Banner is, written by Francis Scott Key during the War of 1812, the only time this country's existence was ever really in jeopardy,
Yeah.
thanks to the British. And you can't be bothered to stand and show the respect for it? Take off your fucking hat, put your hands behind your back, and sit there and shut the fuck up and just listen to the music.
And you don't need to put your hand over your heart. Like, that drives me nuts. That's a personal thing.
Because
So-
that's
The Pledge of
that's
Allegiance.
the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. You do that at Pledge of Allegiance. You do not do that at the national anthem. You see like 50% of the people doing that. And I'm like, who taught you that?
For
Oh,
me,
I
it's
know.
just a respect thing. It's not even a I don't like you thing. It's just a respect thing.
I think
Particularly,
the end result is that we want people from our countries to like each other. And we're not always going to like each other's leaders, but we can love each other enough to say,
And be respectful.
we don't necessarily agree, but I know it's not you or whatever, even if you don't agree with all that stuff.
well, here's the other thing. Just a thought. You're in Canada. Why did you play the American national anthem?
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Well, that's kind of, they're always going to do it.
Why?
Because they're an
was it
American
America
company.
the Beautiful they booed? I think it was I think it was the Star Spangled Banner they
No,
booed.
they
But either way,
changed it when Triple H took over. I think they changed from America the Beautiful to
back to the Star Spangled.
Banner. Yeah.
So my
Right.
whole point is, why do you even play it though if you're in another country?
Exactly. You shouldn't be playing it
I
in
think.
another country.
I mean, what does the NHL do? Do they do?
So that's
whatever
NHL.
represents-
That's when you've got a team made up of all, that team is representing the USA. WWE doesn't represent the USA.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
they
anyway,
think they consider
don't-
themselves to represent.
don't boo another country's national anthem. Show the respect that they deserve. Because again, you've at least agreed to have this event. Don't shit all over it. Don't be that person. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Logan Paul doesn't bother me the way he bothers other folks with his, nonsense. Because he had Trump on his podcast, so all of a sudden he's a bad person. Get out. Just get out. I ain't listening to that shit. And I am a proud drinker of Prime hydration drinks. So, but here's the thing. Wrestling.
They're good.
Logan Paul is really, really good at wrestling. He's
He is.
really, really good at wrestling.
Yeah.
And if he can embrace the hate and be that character on television, it's a great heel. It's a great heel.
I
So
think he has to meet with Sam Adonis now because Sam Adonis has been playing the exact same character that Logan Paul is turning into for a long time. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out Sam Adonis' stuff in Mexico.
yeah, Lucha Underground or CMLL or AAA or whatever it is. Yeah.
AAA, I think he's in, yeah.
Yep.
And
But
fun
he-
fact, Sam Adonis is Corey Graves' brother. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
All right.
So the Elimination Chamber starts a little slow. You're going to get Rollins in first, not a problem. Yeah, obviously. CM Punk, McIntyre, and again, Logan Paul, John Cena. John Cena's not coming in first. Okay, so spoiler. But I thought they got to the point pretty well in this match. There's not a lot of blood or violence, and they saved that. I think that works. But that's the one problem I have with the Elimination Chamber. When they did the original in 2002, it was so violent they had to dial the damn thing back. But I mean, you've got people in pods and chain and steel and all this sort of stuff, and it's just it doesn't have the same sizzle it used to. I don't think.
My dad agrees with you, by the way, for your
I love you, George. I mean it. But I love this country, and that's one of the reasons that shit pisses me off. Because when you have somebody like our president who decides he's going to do what he does and gives you reasons to boo us, well, that's fine, But don't do it during a damn sporting event of the national anthem. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
Now, if he walked in the ring,
Damian, yeah,
go
boo the
ahead.
shit
Feel
out of Trump.
free.
Yeah, go ahead and boo Trump. I don't care. Damian Priest
Yeah,
and Drew McIntyre is probably a WrestleMania match, right?
I would say so because
Yeah.
I felt like they needed a consolation prize for being put in this match.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Seriously.
weren't going to win. They
With
weren't
that
going to
many
win.
people in it, there's going to be a couple of castaways that just don't do
Exactly.
much. Yeah.
I was really surprised we didn't see Roman. But
Is this
I
like the
think we're
first pay-per-view in a while we haven't seen him?
I think we're getting Roman at MSG next week
Oh.
for the cage match between Punk and Rollins. So obviously, I guess we can pick up the pace. No, Damian Priest did not win the Elimination Chamber. No, Drew McIntyre did not win the Elimination Chamber. Unfortunately, Logan Paul didn't win the Elimination Chamber. Could you imagine? That would just piss people off.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So we're down to Rollins, Punk, Cena. Of course, Punk and Cena have their moment. They shake hands. They embrace. Everybody flashes back to 2011 in the summer of Punk. And, you get to fisticuffs and all that stuff. And then they eliminate Rollins after an attitude adjustment and to go to sleep. And now we're on to Punk and Cena. This is where it matters, guys, because I want to see if you saw what I saw. Rollins interferes, stomps Punk. And then Cena immediately jumped on him and hit him with the STFU. Immediately. Didn't let Punk recover. Sportsmanship's out the window. All of a sudden, he pounces on him. That's a little bit of a tip of the hand.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't catch that.
Cena wins. LOL. And out comes everybody's favorite pontificator, not me, Cody Rhodes. Do you think he'll ever be able to just tell us what time it is? Or is he always going to have to tell us how to build a watch?
Well, it's in his blood. He's
Yeah, I was going to say.
His brother didn't necessarily get
on that, Gary. Don't put Dusty on that. Don't do that.
Well,
to me.
I mean, I'm saying it's in his blood to think he needs to do that. He's never going to be his dad.
Nope.
But I think of the sons, obviously, he is the talker. So
absolutely,
he's going to.
And
really
he likes to hear himself talk.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason I don't like him.
And he's got an ugly part of the.
Yeah, he's an acquired taste. So out comes Cody Rhodes, and here comes the final boss looking for an answer with Travis Scott in tow. Now, this is important. And I want your guys' opinion. I am a potty mouth. We all know it. But Cody says, go fuck yourself, Rock. And I thought it was perfect.
Legit one of the best things I've seen in a long time.
Here's why I think it's perfect. When it's unexpected, like if someone talks to me for more than 15 minutes, they expect to hear me just let a rip, Tater Chip. But when Cody Rhodes is the very first professional wrestler in this era to get to say fuck unbleeped on television. Well, I guess it's PLE, but you know what I mean. I think it was really impactful because he doesn't talk like that.
I think it's pretty impactful specifically because the thing that happened next took the other squeaky babyface heel away from us.
Well, hold on before we get to that. But before we get to that, we also don't see people talking to The Rock like that.
That's true.
So to me,
I think it had to be an alpha male response. It had to be fuck you. It couldn't be anything less than that. Now, I didn't expect him to use those words, but it had to be because Cody, and we all made fun of it a little bit, acting so scared of The Rock. I want your soul, blah, blah. I'm like, what? What? You're Cody Rhodes. What's wrong with you? You know? But anyway, Terry's right. We get John Cena jumping up and down, celebrating. And he embraces Cody. And we get the face that everybody has seen. And I think there's a picture. There may not be.
There is.
There it is.
I had to refocus the button. Sorry about that.
So there's the pic. There's the face. John Cena goes from jumping up and down to this face because The Rock's giving him the signal. And here it is. They kick Cody in the balls, beats him down, hits him with the Rolex, hits him with the title belt. Travis Scott apparently potatoed Cody.
Oh, yeah.
And blackened his eye and ruptured his eardrum. And when you go back and watch it, he hit him, Allison. It was a shoot punch.
Oh, I'll go look. I missed it.
Yeah. So Travis Scott on the Dennis Rodman role, and then we get the celebration of The Rock and John Cena. Literally, John Cena standing on Cody Rhodes' head. And by the way, that belt says Cody's soul, and underneath it is the day Dusty died. So for those people who did not see that on SmackDown, it says Cody's soul, and it's not the date of Elimination Chamber. It's the day Dusty Rhodes died. Very well done. Very well crafted.
Wow.
Here's what I will say and this is just because we watch so much wrestling. When Cena didn't leave the ring, I knew something was going to happen. Still very well done. I loved the violence. I think this moment required the violence that we saw. I don't know what y'all think, because the Elimination Chamber match was relatively tame.
Yeah, that's kind of what you said earlier. They kind of held back on that to support this being more violent. Yeah,
this was really almost like uncomfortable.
So I will tell you something that I read, which I thought was fantastic. They had actually scheduled the Rock Cody promo in the center of the show. And it was Triple H who knew that he wasn't going to put them on till the end of the show. He kept everybody in the dark about what was going to happen in this segment.
I heard they couldn't
have they could not have done it better. It was perfect. Because think about it. When's the last time you closed a show with a segment?
Right.
A pay-per-view with a segment.
My understanding, because I heard the same exact thing you did, Allison.
Alex, sorry, we're all giggling. Alex Wheaton's comment is, I don't normally like to use such harsh language, but Cena is now a little duty head.
Correct.
We agree.
Don't worry, Alex. We got you. I got the harsh language covered for everybody. All of our listeners, viewers, and friends and family. Listen, I think that you're correct. They said up to about an hour before, nobody knew Cena was turning heel.
Yep.
Only Cena, Rock, H, and Cody Rhodes knew that he was going to turn heel.
And Travis Scott.
Well, and yeah, Travis Scott ends up getting read in probably there at the end. But so they said Triple H was formatted, like deliberately released what you're talking about, a format, got leaked out to the wrestling press, and he edited the format on the fly and is calling the audibles probably with Bruce right next to him or Michael Hayes, probably both of them, calling the audible. This is so well done. People have pined for John Cena to be a bad guy again. You know what he was doing before this pay-per-view?
A Make-A-Wish?
Make-A-Wishes.
Yeah, I knew it.
Granting Make-A-Wishes. So the whole point, the kayfabe was not dead because Triple H allowed him to even be granting Make-A-Wishes to kids in Canada, in Toronto, at the hospital, up to the point that he becomes this bad guy now standing on Cody Rhodes' neck.
So let me also say, my heart bleeds for the children who, I don't know if you've seen these, but the videos of these kids who are like, what happened? I have to burn all my John Cena shirts now. I loved him. Dad, you can't wear that shirt. Like I have seen at least a dozen videos of kids just devastated. And let me tell you something. I love every minute of it.
I tell you what, they got a great opportunity to do. You know, he's been very upfront with his clothing as it changes and will say different messages. They need to use that and do the same thing, but make it a heel message.
Absolutely.
Yep. This is my thought on the actual Nebraska, Ohio State in the basketball. Nice. I've been waiting for this basketball game. We're on the bubble. That was the update on Nebraska. Gotcha. We are still on the bubble on Nebraska ball. Anyway, on this topic, there are 4, 5, maybe 6 generational talents in the history of WWE. The Rock isn't even one of them. The Rock is the biggest Hollywood star in the world, but he is not a WWE generational talent. His era belongs to some guy named Stone Cold Steve Austin. Pretty good professional wrestler. But you got Bruno, for the Vince McMahon senior crowd, you got Hulk. They don't call it the Savage era, despite Savage and Warrior were both part of it. You got Hulk. Who cares about the new generation? But it's probably Shawn Michaels. You got Austin. You got the Ruthless Aggression era that was, John Cena grew up in. But then you have the PG era. And the PG era belongs to John Cena. This is really simple. I got asked in a group chat, well, how are you going to justify Cena turning heels last month? It says real simple. He wants title number 17. This is the house Cena built, and it's not the house Cody Rhodes built. Some snot-nosed little shithead comes in here and acts like this is his company, and it isn't his company. Because John Cena's main evented more WWE matches than Cody spent taking a piss in the back. So there ain't no reason for them to even think that he's going to replace John Cena. And then, of course, you have the Roman Reigns era. But if you were to really do eras in WWE, you got Hulk, you got Bruno, you got Austin, and you got Cena.
Yep.
And Cody needs a mountain to climb. He's a shit heel if they don't go full blown with him. So, but he can't have white meat babyface versus babyface. He needs the mountain to climb. And what better mountain than the guy responsible for the wealth WWE has that even made it a property TKO would want to own? And that's the story you tell.
Well, here's a question. I know it's looking very far ahead because we don't know how long John Cena is going to be around. Does he walk away as a heel or does he walk away as a babyface?
No, you'll have redemption. I don't think your final camera shot.
We're gonna have a Sergeant Slaughter kind of turnaround.
Yeah. I mean, I think this could run to a SummerSlam, and then you let him and The Rock finish out the year at Survivor Series.
That sounds good. I think Cena versus Rock to finish it out is probably a huge way to end it for him. That'd be great.
I would agree.
Yeah.
That's like my dream match. We may have to make plans.
No, but I mean, it's like I said, this was really, really well done. I know we're over. We're going to go to our top 10, but if you all watched Raw last night, WWE is cooking with peanut oil.
Oh yeah.
They are. Rhea Ripley lost the women's title.
I had to ask like 3 people if that was real because I'm like, did I have a fever dream and see that?
And it's like Io Sky has beaten her multiple times and Rhea's never beat her or something.
Yeah. But the thing is, people are shitting on Io Sky a little bit because Io Sky is a very, very good professional wrestler.
Absolutely.
And by the way, a former women's champion. So everybody relax. But what I'm saying is, you think you know where they're going, and then you're getting the unpredictable. So,
and we like the unpredictable.
Terry, somebody told me that Bob's Burgers can be a little unpredictable. Is that true?
Well, it can be, but we still got some more wrestling to talk about.
Oh, are we going to talk more wrestling?
I know you don't love it, but we got a pay-per-view coming up this week.
Oh shit, I forgot. I am contractually obligated, according to my tweet.
See, he tried.
How good is this poster? But how much better would it look if Hangman's hair was clean?
Yeah.
I just want to point that out.
I love this poster.
Absolutely.
The idea that MJF is in Hangman's head, just the imagery. And then, of course, MJF being evil and Hangman having that evil side. He burned Swerve's house down less than a year ago. I mean, come on, So I love it. I personally love it. This one is probably, to me, the most compelling and fascinating match on the show, but I know we're going to talk about them all.
Well, I will say before we move on to the next slide where we show all the matches, MJF is my guy in AEW. And when I first came back and started watching AEW, I kind of liked Hangman, but he has grown away from that. But I'm hoping for a really good match here. I'm hoping MJF gets right back in it, and I'm hoping Hangman provides something to this match that he can still wrestle pretty well. It's not that. I think this matchup could be great.
Yeah.
I have been praying and longing for MJF to have a tangible story because AEW without MJF in a center role, it's just not what it could be.
No, I agree.
Let's look at all of them.
Oh my God, so many matches.
We can go ahead and talk about this dark hour match with too many people in it if we want to do that.
Devin Dowling just got home from my little sister's birthday. I'm so pumped for Hangman MJF. So they touched, just so everyone's aware, initially 2019 Double or Nothing Las Vegas in the Battle Royal. I was there. Hangman becomes the #1 contender for Fight for the Fallen. Allison Faye was there. That's where we actually first met and didn't realize it until a couple years later. But anyway, that was the only time they really touched in AEW history. So that MJF and Hangman fight, wrestle match rather, could be good. But look at the location of it is on this card. Look at the location.
Who let another freaking Yankees fan in here?
All right, Deb, we are going to be at spring training 9 days from today, or 10 days from today. So there's apparently Brody King versus Okada. Let's face it, that's gonna be a great match if they do.
Fabulous.
It hasn't made the graphic officially, which is why it's
okay. Oh, that's why you just had a random picture. I was wondering why there was a random picture with this. Okay.
Yeah,
just because he knew I'd miss Okada.
It's not official. Then we've got the Hurt Business. Is it Business or Syndicate? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lashley and Benjamin taking on the Outrunners. The Outrunners who I guess
are older than me.
To the 80s.
Did they ask Johnny TV how to name themselves when they changed companies or something? Is that how they come up with the Hurt Syndicate?
Yeah, that's stupid. Though the Hurt Syndicate is Lashley and Shelton Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
Very bottom corner. Why did you say Johnny TV then?
Because he's named himself Johnny whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He just changes like the second word all the time.
Shouldn't he be Johnny Elite though?
I mean, it would make sense.
But anyway,
yeah.
So I think personally, if we're doing predictions, I don't think there's any way that the Hurt Business doesn't leave with the titles against the Outrunners.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, pencil me in for Okada as the winner over Brody. Just saying.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, those two should be obvious. I don't see any other.
Well, the third one's pretty obvious too. They got these idiots, Big Boom AJ, paired up with Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe against MXM or whatever they are, and Johnny Not TV or Not Elite, whatever his name is there, Terry.
Johnny TV is what it says.
Johnny TV. So there you go.
Johnny.
I'm thinking Big Boom is gonna win again, which is gross. Fuck the Costco guys. Go to Sam's Club. Anyway, home of Bentonville, Arkansas. Do you guys see it any other way? No. I mean, they gotta win, right?
Yeah. There's no other way.
There's a lot of obvious stuff here.
Terry, I need your opinion on multi-man matches because I've forgotten.
Multi-man matches with somebody from TikTok, I'm not for
it. Terry, will you be watching this at Dave & Buster's so you can get the pay-per-view for quote free?
Let's see. This is this Sunday.
It's too late. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna fall asleep before the first match is over.
Well, for our not long-time listeners, there was a time where Terry
to the Central Time Zone.
Terry actually paid double for the cost of the pay-per-view at Dave & Buster's, and the pay-per-view was provided.
Yeah.
I don't even think we spent that much when we went to the Huntsville Dave & Buster's to watch.
We did. I picked up the tab. Yeah, we did.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Well, that's
because we had shot. That's because Amy had those shots.
Yeah, she had the ones.
Well, I was sitting there by myself for hours, and I'm like, I feel bad for this waitress. I need to order something else.
All right, let's get to business. The middle of this card is going to cook. Start it off. Hangman versus MJF. Terry, who you got?
I got MJF. I'm hopeful that MJF can make a statement here, and I don't want to see Hangman anymore. So there we go, MJF.
I'm going my Plainview boy. Thank you, Long Island. Go MJF.
I am also going to go with MJF. Here's my rationale. I think this is 1 of 3. Revolution, Double or Nothing, the grand finale in Texas at All In.
Sure.
That's where I'm going.
Okay,
Next
I can
up,
see that.
what'll probably be a good match: Mercedes versus a Japanese woman. None of us know. Mercedes probably going to win because the Japanese woman none of us know is going to win. I would imagine it'll be an okay match. Thoughts from you both?
I do not know if they have wrestled previously in Japan. I'm kind of thinking they have. I actually think this might be a sleeper match, believe it or not, because of that fact. I think this has potential to be a very good match.
I think they'll
But
definitely let her hang in there with Mercedes for a long time.
Yeah. Yep.
Up next, Ricochet versus Swerve Strickland in a #1 contenders match. My oh my, who could possibly be winning this one? I wonder.
If Swerve loses this, he needs to sue the company.
Absolutely. Just leave. Just ask for your release immediately.
But they're also tipping their hand because it's going to be Swerve and it's going to be Mox. Spoiler, folks. Swerve Strickland, as I loved Nana's promo the other night, most dangerous man in the business. Ricochet gonna win. Swerve, the most dangerous man in the business. I love that moniker. I like seeing him back up in the title. If they're going to end this Death Riders thing, please pull the Jack Kevorkian and just put it out of its misery. But if they're going to do it, let Swerve win the title for Mox. There's no harm there. And I don't want to see Darby Allin as AEW World Champion.
Oh, God.
I just don't. I don't. So I think Swerve wins. Anybody not think Swerve wins the #1 contenders match?
It's got to be Swerve.
And get Nana his damn coat back, please. I mean, so we can have the dancing again. All right. Another, in my opinion, more obvious match, but it's going to be in a cage. Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay.
Okay. I'm going to throw a wrench in.
Do you think it goes 30 minutes or more? Ospreay Fletcher in the cage.
No.
It's competing for time with a lot here.
Yeah, that's why I said no.
I mean, there's so many matches, and there's multiple that you would see putting them at the top. I think 20 minutes.
I think it's got the potential to go 30 because they love the long matches. I also say Ospreay's going to win it. Go ahead, Allison.
I was going to say I think this is going to be a match for the former New Japan watchers. I think it will be a banger. But I asked myself this question, what does Will Ospreay gain from winning? And it's really nothing. I think if you have Kyle win, you're adding more fuel to the fire with the Don Callis thing. So I could see it going either way.
Yeah, but it'd be okay for the Don Callis thing to end, in my opinion.
Oh, hell yeah. He's got go away heat at this point. Yeah. But this is Tony Khan we're talking about. He doesn't make smart decisions, okay?
Yeah, let's beat Ospreay again, though. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one thing about it. Ospreay is, I mean, the middle of this card is stacked, starting with Hangman MJF. Mercedes is what she is, but she can wrestle when she wants to. Hopefully she's not in lazy mode Sunday. Ricochet versus Swerve's going to be a good match, but the guy is Swerve. Then you get to Ospreay and Fletcher, and that's the future of the company right there.
Exactly.
Between Swerve, Ospreay, Fletcher, MJF, and Hangman, that's the future of AEW. And it's in the middle of this card, and the match nobody gives a shit about is going to be your main event. Insanity.
Yeah,
insanity.
Totally
Maybe somebody finds their way in the ring, and it ends up being a bloodbath for Ospreay.
Oh.
And they play off of that.
Yeah, that could be. But I absolutely think Ospreay's winning, and I think, to your point, Terry, because they don't mind it into AEW, there's going to be blood all over the place. That steel cage match.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
Up next, Konosuke Takeshita, Kenny Omega. First real singles match because Brian Cage doesn't count. I don't care what anybody says. He's the biggest jobber in professional wrestling, him and Lance Archer. But Takeshita, Omega.
Oof.
It's going to be Omega.
Not going to be upset to watch this. Sorry, Terry.
I think Omega coming back. I think he wins this. Yeah, that makes sense.
So what I want to see is the Omega Gabe Kidd match again, but with Takeshita. What I mean by that is Kenny Omega, after 16 months off, came back January the 5th at Wrestle Dynasty, not to be confused with Wrestle Kingdom. Or was it Dynasty? Whatever it was in Japan, January the 5th. Anyway, him and Gabe went 32 minutes, and it's like the cleaner never missed a beat. But here in AEW, for whatever reason, Kenny Omega is not the cleaner, and I find that almost offensive. That that he's dialed back. What made Kenny Omega the best in the world, other than good opponents like Okada and Jay White and the rest, is that he was allowed to be the Terminator. That is who they need to be. That's the Kenny Omega we need Sunday.
Do you think he's ready?
I do, after watching the 33-minute match with Gabe Kidd.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing I'd love more. You know that. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, he's got one more really good run in him. I mean, he's 41 years old. The diverticulitis is never going away. He'll never get over it. Ask Brock Lesnar. So they need to make the most of him while they've got him. And Takeshita's so young and has beat Omega twice, so it's not like it hurts him any at all.
Exactly.
Speaking of hurting, now this is the one I think is a coin toss. You got Timeless Tony Storm, chin up, tits out, ladies and gentlemen, against the Glamour Mariah May.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this question really quick. You know what we just said about Sammy and KO?
Yep.
Does that apply here? Because I can't think of another reason. Sorry?
How many times can we see it? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, is it good enough that they can keep doing it?
Yes.
When does the story get old, is what you're saying?
That's exactly where I'm going. Because this one, they're trying to do a story, and I'm just like...
Yeah.
I think this is the last one, though, because it's the Hollywood ending. So
who walks away with the belt in that case, if it ends it?
Tony Storm. Much more valuable to the company than Mariah May. Mariah's young. Tony is well established. Tony is over, and the women's division needs all the help they can get.
Devin wants this to be the main event, and he says it should be a no-holds-barred, falls count anywhere, classic hardcore brawl.
Yeah, because AEW doesn't have enough of those, Devin Dowling. We're gonna
throw
get
about
there.
5 or 6 more people in there, too.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to get there because thoughts, though. Mariah May. Anybody picking Mariah is a surprise.
I really don't know. I mean, it's a toss-up to me. I agree this should be the last match because we've gone through this quite a bit and this story's growing old. And it probably, to me, is Tony Storm walking away with it just because this should be the last time.
Yes, Devin, you're the only one that watched last week's Collision. The rest of us were watching.
Yeah, well, he's got a card, and that makes Collision watchable. And some of you will get that joke in 10 minutes. So the Tony Storm Mariah May, he says, is a no DQ match. Here's what's going to irritate the shit out of me. You're going to get blood for sure, Fletcher Ospreay. Probably Swerve and Ricochet. Almost guaranteed Hangman and MJF because of the ring. Mm-hmm. You got to figure he's going to have the ring with him.
Right.
There you go. I rest my case. Maybe not Okada and Takeshita, but you got to believe that you're going to get blood from Tony and Mariah.
Absolutely.
Because it's been a blood feud. It was a feud founded on Mariah busting Tony open over the jealousy of the Owen and all that. So there's going to be a lot of bloodshed on Sunday. I'm still going with Tony Storm. I think she's the face of AEW's women's division.
I'm probably 60-40 with my thoughts on Tony Storm, I'd say.
And last,
Nobody cares.
Certainly least, nobody gives a flying fuck.
Speaking of blood, here's John Moxley.
There's probably going to be some post-match angle, but the man who blades making his daughter oatmeal in the morning, John Moxley, defends his world title against the man who doesn't know his own name, Adam Copeland. So no way Copeland leaves with the title. I don't think. Devin has a very interesting comment.
I agree. I was just waiting to put that up. I actually think they might actually realize that the jig is up. Like, it's time. We're done with this. And give it to Cope. And then, like Devin says, Christian immediately cashes in. But then I'm confused about the Swerve beats Christian to win the world title. Is that just like the next match or the next?
Yeah, they've got the Wrestle Dream coming up, and then they've got Double or Nothing in not Las Vegas this year. It's in Arizona.
But I do think this makes sense.
Hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So, is everybody tired of the Death Riders angle?
So much so.
Absolutely.
I mean, Devin, are you tired of the Death Riders angle since you're
he
here?
May not be.
Bober's not here. Bobes isn't here. What about George? Is George tired?
George is watching the State of the Union now.
Oh God. Okay. Well, we don't do that around here. My whole point though of the Death Riders was like they're doing like a old invasion, blah blah blah, or whatever. But the entire thing lacks any heat to make it give Claudio a babyface push. Dude, they just concertoed his ass last week. The fact that Wheeler Yuta is still standing is Claudio's out, Pac is out, and Marina is out. Good Lord. We got Wheeler Yuta. But no, I think that the intention was good and the story had enough intrigue at the beginning. The problem is it has fizzled out and they've got nowhere to go with it. It is a directionless. You would be better off, to your guys' point, let Moxley win or let him lose and let Cope do Devin's story. Do Devin's story.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Do Devin's story. And then have Swerve win at Wrestle Dream or even Double or Nothing from Christian. Just terminate, for God's sake, the Death Riders.
Dynamite. We don't care.
Yeah, you've got so many other good things happening, but then this is like a major distraction to the progress you're making as a wrestling company. My opinion.
Can I ask a question because I honestly don't know? When is the last time Mox defended the title?
At the last pay-per-view.
That's what I thought. That alone is enough reason to get it off of him.
Pretty sure it was at the last pay-per-view. And
I asked that because I couldn't remember, and I actually watched the wrestling.
And also, I suspect
shot at me.
Just a
Jay
little
White. I suspect Jay White will cost Edge the match.
Oh, that's a very good point. Oh, I like that actually.
Yeah,
that could be. Throw that in with Devin's prediction. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, I suspect that Jay White, if let's say Copeland wins and beats Edge or beats Moxley, the way to do what Devin's talking about, White hits him with the Blade Runner, out comes Christian, unprettier. Christian is your champion because he still has the not Money in the Bank briefcase, and Pope Moxley still carrying around a Halliburton wannabe of whatever is supposed to be in there. The Bucks aren't around, which we'll see them tomorrow. Jack Perry's gone again, so whatever they're doing over there. Contractually obligated to discuss AEW per my agreement with Terry.
Yeah.
So
I expect, and I forced it this time. He was trying to skip over it. So I expect John Moxley to win this. I wish Cope would win this, and they would do something that's siding with a storyline.
No,
I don't expect it.
Mox
know
thinks
Go ahead. I'm trying, you guys. Go ahead. Go, Andrew.
no. I was reading Devin's comment. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mox thinks he's Mongo. Yeah.
Made me
I was
laugh.
trying to do a segue. It did not work. I'm just giving
Oh,
up.
do you want me to segue?
Please go right ahead.
So if you showed up and you don't like wrestling and you showed up for the Bob's Burgers, let me lead into this. So this time we're doing best of Bob's Burgers store next door names, and you may go, "What the hell does that mean?" Okay, so first off, the other two, they don't watch Bob's Burgers like I do, but this is my comfort show. I turn it on every day. It's in the background when I'm cooking dinner. It's in the background when I'm doing stuff on my computer. It's that show for me. And if you like puns, you will love this show. They are all over the place. Every opening segment of this show has a new business name that is a pun next door to Bob's Burgers. And that's what we're ranking today. And I promise you guys, I told you guys in the chat the other day, I might show an embarrassing picture of myself. I couldn't find it. I apologize.
Oh, well, you'll tell us where it
Hey.
fits in.
If I find it, I'll show it on a future show. Maybe it's in show 100. Maybe I'll find it by then.
Oh my.
Awesome.
And Devin, we're glad you like Bob's Burgers.
Devin is inebriated. You can't trust anything he says, so this is going to be a train wreck.
As
Here
always,
we
thanks
go.
everybody who voted. Let's look at what did not make the list. Let Scissor Collage Studio.
Damn it, 2 of these were on my list again.
Butt Stuff Underwear Outlet. I'm pretty
Butt
sure that
Stuff
one made my
Underwear
list.
Outlet.
Yeah.
That was on
Rude
mine.
Baconing. Cakes for People You Hate. And Maxi Pads. Large apartment rentals. So that
I
ought to set up the
loved
top
that
10
one.
if you didn't vote.
That is so good. That Maxi Pads one. Because when I saw the Maxi Pads part, I'm going, what are they gonna do with that? And then I read the description. I'm like, that's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, definitely. Butt Stuff's definitely made mine.
Yeah. I mean, it's butt stuff. Who doesn't love butt
It's-
stuff?
Let's get to the top
hilarious.
10.
The Rude Awakening was also very funny to me.
Yeah, I figured you would like that one. Yeah.
That
The
was
Rude
pretty neat, yeah.
Awakening made the list too, mine. So we have
All
enough
right.
people that voted that they kicked us all out.
Yeah.
I will say
seriously.
that there were a couple of votes that moved some stuff up. I noticed.
Oh.
I get
Okay.
I go ahead and make the slides, and then I have to jostle stuff around sometimes. And the last couple of voters really moved some things around. Number
my,
10,
all right.
our carpets match our drapes, home furnishings.
Definitely on my list.
I love it. I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious.
Oh my god, that's so good.
And it's like you said, Terry, this is like, I mean, obviously people know what that means, but from that standpoint, it is funny. It's clever. It's the better word I was looking for. It's clever.
It is. And I mean, the other thing, and this will be a good opportunity, the other thing on the show, in the intro, they also have a delivery truck show up, and it's got another business name on it that's a pun. And then he does Burger of the Day, and it's always a pun.
That's always
This
a pun.
show probably has 10 puns throughout every episode. So if
I
you
love
like
that.
dad
Fantastic.
jokes and stuff, this is the show for you.
Well, no wonder. It explains a lot. I understand.
Exactly. Number 9, Magnum GI colonoscopies.
This one made the list too, for sure.
I don't think this made my list, but that is good. And reminds me I need to make an appointment.
A woman of your age, as
Yeah, I'm old. What do you want?
I'm closer to 40 than I've ever been.
Damn
I'm
good
getting
for my
farther and
age.
farther away from 40 every day.
Next year it's
I'm getting
50 for me, bitch.
I'm getting closer and closer to it, like running toward it. That's how close I'm getting to it.
Number
Magnum
8,
GI this is perfect though, Terry. Go ahead. Number 8.
Big Old Kitties Senior Cat Adoption Agency.
Yeah, I couldn't. I had too many on the list, but this is the one that would have almost made it. This was hilarious to me
Oh,
because you got to be careful how you say it too.
Yeah, you
I
got to
have
say
a
it the
feeling
right
there's-
way.
sorry, I was just gonna say I know a few of our friends that probably put this on the list.
Oh, yeah.
Cat people.
I'm one of those.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cat people.
Cat people.
Number 7, glitch please, computer repair.
Yeah, it was all right. That
This one
wasn't-
slid down my list as I saw other ones.
That was a
When I
problem.
put
Is
this list, yeah.
I started with some good ones, like ones I thought were, and then they kept. I had to keep reordering them, and that annoyed me a
Right.
little bit. But that means how good these were.
That's
so.
what I was going to
Well-
say. That's a great sign.
So there are like 270 of these because they've had 15 seasons. And I made a spreadsheet, and I went through and I went by marking ones that I thought should make the options list, and I came up with 68. And I thought, I'm going to pull 34 and we'll make a list. We got 34 other ones that I initially thought were good enough. We could do another
Wow.
one.
Yeah,
we can do a second
don't threaten us with a good time because this is
I know.
great, Terry. What's number 6?
Number 6, let's talk about X, baby. Divorce counseling.
I thought this was a good one. This was really fun.
It was so good for the double pun here.
Yeah.
That's why this one was really good.
Divorce counseling. You know,
Correct. And you're
Yeah,
not
so
going
they
to
could have made this divorce attorneys, but the fact that it's counseling made it even better.
that's my thing because it's not divorce. It's not marriage counsel. It's divorce. You know, it's like
Yep.
that's a lot of divorce. Oh, it's good stuff.
Number 5, don't stop bereaving. Grief counseling.
That one was good too. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, Lord.
Every episode.
I mean-
Number 4, Scroto-Rooter vasectomy clinic.
Now that one did not make my list.
Look at this. And the sign in the window says half off next
Off
visit.
next visit, yeah. See, to me, this wasn't that funny. This one wasn't as good as the other puns.
Oh, it's
This
funny
is one
to
of
me.
them that boosted up with late votes.
I mean, it's funny to me when I think about a Scroto Rooter.
Oh,
I think I know a couple of people that probably voted for this.
Uh-huh.
probably. We probably know them.
Yes.
Number 3, baby got back problems.
This one I
therapy.
voted for. I love
This was my
I
number
love
1.
it. Yeah.
This might have been my like 2, I think.
Yeah. So you know what song is on the playlist, and immediately started thinking about it. Because
Yeah.
quite frankly, at almost 40, if I started dancing to Sir Mix-a-Lot, I probably
God.
would have a back problem. So
Correct. Oh,
Anyway.
that's a good one.
2 more. Number 2, I'd hit that boxing gym.
that one made my list too. I love it.
That
That
was
is
so good.
yeah.
Oh,
You know,
Mhm.
they don't need the boxing lessons in the window though.
no.
That one almost doesn't that's unnecessary. The half off was actually funny with the scroto
Yeah.
root.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This doesn't really add to it.
Number 1.
And number 1, drum roll, please. That's what she said. Shoe store.
I mean, that was
Because-
pretty much a given.
We're not the
Oh, yeah.
originators, but we have perfected. That's what she said. So
That's what she said.
Let me run it down. I just put what I could on this one.
Oh, so
Number
good.
10, our carpets match our drapes, furniture. Number 9, Magnum GI. Number 8, Big Ol' Kitties. Number 7, Glitch Please. Number 6, Let's Talk About X Baby. I ain't singing any of these. Number 5, Don't Stop Bereaving. Number
Don't
4,
Stop
Scroto Rooter. Number 3, Baby
Bereaving.
Got Back Problems. Number 2, I'd Hit That. And number 1, That's What Shoe Said.
Zach,
That's what she said.
This was
Yeah.
so good.
what a
And I know
sophomore.
I tried to
cast
explain it the
this
best I
is.
could when I put this
Oh, you
out
did
because
good.
I know that not everybody watches the show, but maybe go if you haven't seen it, go watch an episode. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say that Terry was lovely and drove me to the airport when I left Huntsville last time. We had some time to kill, so we sat at his house and he introduced me to a couple episodes, and I'm like, "What is this show? How have I never
Yeah.
watched this before? This is going on my list of bingeable shows." especially
And
now
they're
that I know
long.
there's 15 seasons.
23 minutes, because you're
Yeah.
not going to get commercials.
Great
It's
stuff.
great. And we watched 3 episodes before.
Yep.
And I'm looking for like, oh, we need a good episode with Teddy.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a good episode. And there's some pretty famous people like
Megan
uh,
Mullally,
Mela Mullally is she's
the aunt.
the aunt.
Mhm.
Let's see who else. The guy from Parks and Rec.
Ron Swanson.
No.
Oh.
He is on there at some point, but he's just like a side character. The
Aziz Ansari.
Aziz Ansari is one of the kids at school.
Oh
So
wow.
so they've got some names of people that you would recognize. You could recognize their voice. Oh, and Mona Lisa was
Yes,
one of the
that's
girls
right.
at school. Yeah,
No.
And the
excellent
mom
show.
sounds
Thank you.
the mom sounds like one of the gay guys from the reels that Andrew always sends me.
Yeah, man does do the mom voice.
I don't know which reel I always send you.
It's one of the I'll next time I find it I'll send it to you and then you're gonna have to watch an episode and you'll agree with me. Trust me.
I got you. Yeah. Because when you say one of the reels I sent you, I mean, let's,
Yeah, I know.
let's be honest. The reel count's been down, though. I've been at work.
You've been working hard.
I've
actually
noticed.
working. The reel count is down. It happens. Good to be busy. Although tomorrow, allegedly, my little glass box could be in danger.
Oh no.
I'm hearing noises out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're scaring me. Stop,
It's
guys.
windy. It's pretty windy.
Mm.
Well, the one thing about it, Allison, is we got a bunch of wind coming and we got a bunch of trees. So branches everywhere.
All
My
right.
biggest thing is I don't want to lose
Careful.
power because
I did bring the garbage can in
Smart.
because I lost a recycling bin one time in a storm. Never saw it again. It blew down the road. I don't know where it ended up. Maybe somebody stole it, but I never saw it again.
That's rough. Well, hopefully the weather will be okay. Like we talked about at the beginning of the show, we'll be back in a couple weeks, spring break time. Not
With
making any
episode
promises on
100.
the schedule, but
Yep.
We
it will
welcome
be
all those
episode
100 ideas.
100, which means we've got a little time. Please submit your ideas to us. We do have a couple ideas that have been submitted that have been approved for usage. So we will be doing those. But I tell you what, it's already March 4th. And I'm like, where the hell is this year gone to start with?
Oh my god, I know.
Even though January seemed a little bit never ending, where the hell did February go? And it's March 4th. Fun fact for you all, because I'm a history nerd and we'll wrap this up. Tomorrow, love you too, Alex. And no, I'm not doing the heart because the last time it was not a heart. But thank you, Allison. But tomorrow marks the anniversary of Joseph Stalin's death. And so, fun fact about Joseph Stalin, obviously the Generalissimo, absolute dictator, creator of the Soviet Union. How apropos considering the conflicts in the world. But anyway, 1953, Joseph Stalin falls ill on March the 4th. And his secret police head named Beria finds him laying on the ground. Beria thought this was going to be his opportunity to become the Generalissimo. And he left him having a stroke, dying. So remember, Beria is the head of the NKVD, or the Cheka, later becomes the KGB, who would send thousands of people to their deaths in the basement of the KGB headquarters where they shot to death. The irony here is people hated Beria inside the Communist Party so much. When they find Stalin dead, there's about 6 months without a leader, and Nikita Khrushchev will emerge. Beria is sent to the basement of the KGB headquarters and executed the same way he sent thousands upon thousands. The only person that could have ever saved his life, he let die on March the 5th of 1953.
Wow.
The world can be a cruel but ironic place.
It can. So let's talk about what's been happening on Talking Wrestling with Pondwater and Amy. So they've had 2 shows since we've recorded. They had Derek Zoo last week, and then last night they did their review of Elimination Chamber. I'm not sure what they have next. That'll be next week, obviously. But great show. Tune in for them. They're very
Dave
supportive
was a
of
lot
us.
higher on Elimination Chamber than we were, I think, if I
Yeah, I
remember
think so.
correctly. It was a little bit distracting. I had a couple distractions going on last night, but I was trying to pay attention.
Same.
But
All right. Well, this was another fun show, number 99. I can't believe it.
Number 99.
You learned about Joseph Stalin's death today.
I
You never
definitely
thought
learned.
that, so
Thank you for teaching me some history, because heaven knows I don't know my history. So thank you.
yeah, well, I would say that it would be prudent for anybody to dust up on the Soviet Union and the creation of this little organization called NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that sounds like it will be absent with the support of the United States. So, created to stop communism from spreading to Western Europe in 1947 or 48. But anyway,
All right. Now you know.
now you know.
No,
It's
Knowing
just
is
weird.
half the battle. I'm going to make
You know,
some more.
I paid to know these things to be able to share them with people, and I sell cars for a living. I just want you all to know that.
But you're sharing these things all day long
Yeah.
with people trying to buy cars.
I was going
right?
to
That's
say,
what's
you
happening.
teach us every day. Come on.
Oh,
Well,
I love
thank
y'all.
you.
I mean it. Thank you all for joining us. Terry, Allison, take it away.
All
Take
right.
it-
So listen. So thanks everybody for voting. Thanks for joining in. Alex, Devin, anybody else comment? George was here. Thank you, George. He's off listening to the State of the Union, but we love him too. You guys be careful on your trip. Cyrus and I will be careful on
Be
our
careful
trip
on
to
yours.
Atlanta.
Likewise.
We're going to be traveling all over the Southeast this week. So everybody else out there who's got storms ahead of them, hunker down and be safe. We love you. We thank you for everything you do to support us. And next episode, whenever that may be, will be episode 100, and we're hitting triple digits, baby.
Yes, sir. Gonna be awesome.
And the last
Gonna
thing
be
I have to say, as always, love your people. Tell them you love them. Make it weird. See you next time, everybody.